Hey, good to see you, or I guess I just get to see myself in this thing, but good to be with you. Thankful for the visits and the comments and this piece about calm and peace, about checking in with where you are in the day. Really thankful to do that with you. And the piece for me is before I open this up to make it, I saw something that just generated this anger in me. And it's like, I was going to pay attention to it. And I thought, that's what I'll do today. I'll share that with you. How when something triggers me, this process of using the pendulum, of using ice, of using a really simple and predictable technique can get us back to this place of calm that we can then live from. The thing that made me angry will still exist, but I can predict pretty accurately based on a lot of experience. My engagement with it will be different. I won't get triggered by this. If I get triggered by it more, seemingly, I just keep paying attention to the different pieces until I can engage it from this place of calm. So I guess first, before we start that, how are you? And just take a moment to pay attention to that. It's March 17th today, and things are changing globally and locally on a pace that's just unimaginable, right? Seeing stuff all over social media, which I really spend hardly any time on, but people are telling me that everybody's like, this is in our awareness now. And if you think about life a week ago, it's unimaginably different just a week ago compared to what it is today. And other places in the world have gone through this now already. China, Korea, Japan, Thailand, now Italy, Iran. And here in the United States, this curve is getting closer and closer to that critical stage. How are you? Take your hands, just move them apart and see the space. My body feels very quickly, within a few seconds, different. It's fun when I do this with people for work and either in person or on the screen, and I can see them. Oftentimes their whole face will just relax. You can visually see this happening. And what I've been sharing the last few times is if you can just stay in this place, it's great, right? But if it's any effort to stay in this place, then just notice what's taking your attention and reconsolidate that so that you can engage again from this effortlessly from this place of calm. When it becomes an effort, notice what it is that makes it an effort. And so since I've got this little live thing going on right now for me that makes me angry, I'm going to share that. Not that it should make you angry, but I thought rather than just dealing with it alone, I'd do it right here in case it's of any benefit to you. Plus, I know I'm not really wasting your time now because we're just hanging around for a couple months waiting for the skies to clear, right? All right. So I got a little bit of a funny story. Maybe I'll remember to tell it to you after this, but opened up before starting to make this and just saw on the news. And the title is The WHO, the World Health Organization, considers, quote, airborne precautions for medical staff after a study shows coronavirus can survive in the air. And then down in the key points, the World Health Organization is considering airborne precautions for medical staff after a new study showed the coronavirus can survive in the air in some settings. Oh, yeah, now I can feel the anger. So this was known back in January. I'm not a medical guy. I just became aware of this coronavirus back in January and started paying attention. And if you go to my newsletter, I show the 3 sources that I've listened to daily. Spent way more than an hour a day paying attention to this. And the World Health Organization has treated this epidemic from a place that's way, way, way behind the curve. And it pisses me off. I feel it in my head. It pisses me off that this virus is going throughout the world at an increasingly rapid rate. And the World Health Organization, that is charged with world health, just now saying, oh, a new study shows the coronavirus can survive in the air in some settings. And they said back when China set up its first quarantine there around Wuhan, oh, travel's still okay everywhere else. And China was building hospitals that could house 10,000 people. And here we are today. And what's happening in Italy right now, what's happening in Iran right now is the future for almost every place, because there's no place in the world that has enough health care to handle the way this is coming through the world. And it's coming at such a rapid, crazy rate because the official actions have been behind the curve. Here's exponential action, which these guys know, and they know better than me. The decisions they've made are going to result in the death of many, many more people, and it didn't have to be that way. But this is exponential growth. Imagine that your faucet turns on in your room, in your kitchen, and you can't turn it off. So you have to bucket it out. You put a bucket underneath there, and it takes it maybe 30 seconds to fill up, and you have to take it outside and throw it out. That's okay, that works. You can do that. Now imagine that a second one, faucet, same kind of faucet, turns on and you can't turn it off. Well, now you've got 2 buckets to deal with. If it goes linearly, you add 1 bucket at a time until you can get the plumber and get it fixed. And so maybe you get up to 10 buckets. Let's say every hour you add 1 new faucet that you can't turn off. So you've got 10 buckets, and yeah, you could do that, get some little bit of help. Then the plumber comes and fixes it. 10 hours later, it's solved. If it's exponential, after that first hour and the next faucet breaks because it doubled now, instead of just adding 1 more faucet, it looks the same right now. Now you've got 2 faucets. But now when it doubles again the next time, you've got 4 faucets. When it doubles again the next time, you've got 8 faucets. And by the 4th doubling, you've got 16 faucets. Now you've got more faucets in 4 hours than you had in the whole 10 hours linearly. By the 5th hour, you double again and you've got 32. The 6th hour, you've got 64. The 7th hour, you've got 128. The 8th hour, you've got 256. The 9th hour, you've got 512. By the 10th hour, you have over 1,000 faucets. and you drown. I've been looking at this. I'm going to work with this anger. I'm going to show you how I do it. I want to share that with you, but I'm identifying right now. That's the first step of something. You identify what's going on. What's the experience? How do you feel it in your body? I feel this in my head, and my whole body's tense right now. What's the emotion? This emotion is anger. Pretty strong. Doesn't have to be strong to ice it, but this is pretty strong anger. Like I say, I've been following this since very early on. And here in the United States, not just World Health, but here in the United States, almost every single thing that we've done has actually been against this flattening of the curve, right? Evening out the rate at which we get infected so that the healthcare can keep up and we lower the amount of death that's going to happen. We're still barely starting to test. I put up shared that thing, I think it was March 12th, when they said the estimate is between 250,000 and 500,000 cases in the United States. 15th, we've doubled, maybe more than doubled. So we're now between 500,000 cases and 1 million. 4 or 5 or 6 days from now, we're going to be between 1 million and 2 million cases. And I'm not ascribing any evil intentionality to this, but if you look at the actions, almost every single thing we've done and not done is accelerating the rate of destruction because those faucets keep turning on and more people are going to drown because there's not as many people to pull us out of that room, not as many doctors available. Well, the same number of doctors, but literally flooded with people who are sick. All right, that's the identification. And you see how easy it would be to just stay stuck in that? So it's really nice to be here with you because you are my reminder, Lars, to the calm piece. When we don't get that reminder, we can stay stuck in this agitation. When we do get this reminder, we actually get an invitation to use our attention in an incredibly important way. Yep, all that stuff's happening. It's true. I mean, we can argue the facts if you want, that's fine. But I'm reading today on March 17th something that was known way back in January about airborne travel of a virus, the coronavirus. All right. So there it is. Got it. Got that's my emotion. Got that's my reaction. I'll come back to you in a little bit, but I got to go get something for you. This is the reminder. So I look at this finger. You see how my attention now goes from the World Health Organization to my finger. And that like seems ridiculous. Like you say, oh yeah, I just take my attention from the World Health Organization and I stick it on my fingernail. Not really going to travel very far, is it, in terms of impact? But what you did was you took your attention from an upset and put it on a simple thing. Then you choose a second simple thing and look at that. You might start feeling a relaxing coming inside of you. Yawn is a sign, not that I'm boring myself, but that relaxing is coming. And then you look at the space in between that you can imagine because you're imagining it, because your awareness is creating it, this awareness of empty space. Yeah, come back here. Okay. just took the pendulum and swung it from the World Health Organization and my anger about it over to this place that has nothing in it. Now I see the space between myself and this screen. Seeing this, you know, when I work with people, people get a little self-conscious when they yawn in my presence. And it's like, just relaxing. That tension that we're carrying about these things, right? I'll come back to you. Let's go grab a little of this. Okay. Now you're over here and it's really tempting to hang on over here, right? Even to put some effort into staying calm because it feels so good. But notice as soon as you put effort into calm, you all of a sudden are a reaction to the effort instead of just the awareness of the calm. You're not doing anything here, you're just being here. We're so used to have to make something happen. This just is. And your awareness just is here. The mechanics of this don't matter except that in some way, if this is interesting to you, it's important to come to a place where you are being in this calm without reacting to anything to create that. I'm not creating it. I didn't create the space. It's between me and the screen. I didn't create any space here. I'm simply aware of it now. Okay, we swung the pendulum from identifying over here. Now we're over in this calm space. Really good. Boy, I could do a lot of yawns here. Yeah, and it would be just tempting to stay over here, right? Because it feels so good. I have lots of people say, I don't want to go back to that thing. Stay here as long as you want. Well, actually, the time is 4 to 6 hours. Okay, because the thing you activated over here, my anger at the WHO, if I don't complete this process, it will glue down, and tomorrow, when I see another article, I'm going to get activated again. Might happen anyway, but I'm going to take care of this one that showed up now. Okay? I'm going to take my awareness here from calm, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to look at that article with the face of that guy who looks so serious about telling us it can spread now. Read again, who is considering airborne precaution. Whoa, I just felt it. Just felt that shift. I don't know if you'll feel it or not. I mean, I spend all my time playing with this stuff, but I put myself back here, right in that exact same situation I was in before, not a different one, right? Not the economic piece of it, but this piece about the World Health Organization. And they knew more than me back then, and they took actions that have increased the spread of this rather than slowed it down. That pissed offness about that. And I checked my head, checked that feeling. Look over at that picture. It's very possible that something else can show up. Anger about another piece like the economy or something like that. It could be completely calm. And now instead what I feel is this sadness. Like my head just wants to fall forward right now with sadness. Not anger. Got reconsolidated. It actually did on the synaptic level of the nerves and the brain cells of the body. It stores differently now without that because of this process of identify, calm, exchange of ice that follows the process of memory reconsolidation that's been discovered as this way that the brain and the body work. Predictable, okay? I don't feel the anger. I feel this sadness. I feel it right in the center of my head, differently than the anger. It's like behind my eyes, right there, right in the middle, like this heavy weight that just wants to fall down. So I'm back over here, identifying sadness. And there's this sadness that, gosh, even though like all the physics of this, all the medicine of this, all the math of this is just like plain as day. It's 1,056 faucets after 10 hours turned on in your house, and you're going to drown now unless someone comes and pulls you out. And we're not going to have enough people to pull people out of these rooms because it's come so fast and affecting so many. That was the anger piece. And I'm sad that that is what is already happening in the world, right? Tens of thousands of deaths, millions of infections, and we're not anywhere near through this going around the world. There will be people who I know and love who will live through this. And there will be people who I know and love who will die during this time. That's the sadness. Down into my chest, down into my heart, in my head. Okay? What is it about? That people will die. What is the emotion? Sadness. What is the feeling? My head and my shoulders. You're looking for those three things. What's the emotion? What's the feeling in the body? And what's it about? You take whatever you get. You get one of them, you can ice that. You get two of them, you can ice that. Whatever little bit you get, you ice. I'll talk about if you get too much and you get overwhelmed, how to ice that. I'll do that in another one of these mornings. But now I look at this and I say, oh, okay, got that. That's a feeling. And it's, gosh, I can just feel it. It's easy just to get stuck in there, to stay there, right? I'm in reaction to that sadness now. But only because I've done it so many times. And that's why I'm actually here with you right now. If you're interested, it's like, oh, got it. Not dishonoring that whatsoever, but take your awareness now. Got it. I'll come back to you. I've got something I want to give you. Right? This is all activated now. Use that awareness. Bring it over here. Take your awareness and notice the space. And because we've been doing this, I see it coming back more quickly than the first time I did this a few minutes ago. Be in the awareness of this space. A couple other thoughts flitted in and out. Back to this space. This is long enough. You can go back right now, but you know, such a nice space when you're in it, right? Now I just got distracted by seeing there's 3 people watching this right now. Back to the space. This awareness, so powerful. You choose the way you use. Or we don't. We just stay stuck over here in reaction because it's really happening. It really is. All this stuff is really happening in the world. Yes. Just a minute. I'll be right back. It's okay. It's okay to live your life out of this space. My bet is you're going to be more effective for yourself and for others as you go through this time. The more that you can bring to calm, the less that we're in the places of panic anxiety, fear, sadness, anger, hopelessness, space. And I come back to the sadness. And I go right back into that sadness, which really is about that a lot of people already have, and a lot more will be dying. And I'm trying to get back that feeling that's in the head and the heart. Heart's calm. Still something in the head. The feeling in the head is different. There's another feeling in the head, a little bit further back, kind of a crackly feeling. And I'm going to work on this more myself after the video. But this is the process. This is the process. I live my life this way. I've worked with hundreds of people, inviting them to live their life this way. The power of living from this space where you can see the space and things come into the space and you have an interaction with the finite thing from this place of the awareness of space. That is fundamentally different from that place that I was engaging this WHO article about airborne spread. There was no space at the beginning of this video. I saw that, I was angry, I was the reaction to it. It was no space. Yeah. It's still true that airborne spread was known in January, and the WHO has far more brilliant people than I do. And they didn't act on this, and they didn't do things to decelerate, to flatten the curve nearly as much as could have been done based on the knowledge that was there. But at the beginning of this video, I was in this place of anger and no space about that. It's all still true. There's a lot more space now. And I could tell by the way I just expressed it, and I'm sure you could too, that I've got some more to ice. But that's been my invitation in these videos, right? Swing the pendulum. Might sound like I'm telling you what to do, but much as anything, I'm just reminding myself what there is to do. And that important little point that you're not actually doing anything to make space. It just is here. And this is just an invitation to be in the awareness of it. When you do this, you're a reaction to that. When you do this, you are a reaction to that. Lowers the energy level so your awareness can be in the presence of this space. And now you're not doing anything to maintain it. It just is. And you have the incredible gift of being aware of it right now. One of the biggest gifts in the world is nothing. Swing it back and forth between that place that is pure gift and this place that, you just feel like, oh, it takes the energy of anger, fear, sadness, panic, anxiety, hopelessness, whatever, or even joy and happiness if you have to maintain those, and whatever. All this stuff that takes the work. The old Lutheran language, right? The work over here and just the grace, the gift over here. Swing back and forth. You don't try to stay here in the space, in the grace and the gift. You go and grab it as a useful thing and bring it back to the place that feels like work and hard and upset. And then the space naturally appears again. Now I can look at that article and I can see the space. And there's still things to do. So here's the thing to do. Let's talk about airborne spread. Now, there's two ways, there's a number of ways to think about it, but one is perfume. You ever go downwind to someone who has a lot of perfume on? You can smell it pretty far down. That's airborne spread. Droplet spread is like a basketball, like you cough, you've had those coughs before where all this comes out, goes like a basketball and drops to the ground. They think about 6 feet for that. That's where they came up with the 6 feet thing. Standing downwind to someone with perfume on, you're going to smell it a lot further than 6 feet. That's aerosolized spread, which they knew that the virus did way back in January. So they could have just said, the thing spreads like perfume. And if you put people on a Diamond Princess and you quarantine them there and you have air vents that go from one place to another, you're going to spread the virus that way. And they had a terrible tragedy there. And in Hong Kong, way back, January or early February, they had this crazy case where in the top of a tall building, someone got coronavirus. And then underneath them, people started getting, like on the floors directly below this apartment, people started getting the coronavirus and they had to shut it down. And they discovered that the virus, which can live in our urine and our feces, when it got flushed down the toilet because of the way that this place was built, air could actually end up coming back out through other people's toilets or whatever, such that air got in the rooms below that person and they got sick. That's aerosolized transmission. But I'd like to loan the World Health Organization my dog Milo, because you see, Milo's gotten old. And in about the last year or so, Milo has perfected aerosolized transmission. When Milo has gas, he's laying right over there. When Milo has gas, it is so potent that everybody notices. Go like that, and we love our dog, but sometimes we just have to get up and step away. That is aerosolized transmission. And the World Health Organization, they gotta have known about it because I knew about it back in January. All right, I'm going to keep swinging this pendulum back and forth. And if Milo gets up, I'm going to have to step across the room and do my pendulum stuff. I want to wish you peace for this day, whatever it will bring. I'm so thankful I get to spend this time with you. I'm so thankful I get to hear from you. It's so nice to be in touch during this time. Love to you all. Bye-bye. See you, I think, tomorrow. Here we go, end stream.